You know, I always wondered what was on this shelf. So let's see, we got new oil, new paints, and everything. Oh, hey! I didn't see you there, buddy. Hey, everybody, or hey, everyone, it's Dr. Detroit here. The doctor is in, and welcome back to another episode of One Day Restorations. Yep, we're back in it once again. Right on the cusp, or actually right on the edge of taking care of the Hudson Hornet in our other garage. We're here in our Car Mechanic Sim 2018 garage, which has gotten a little makeover, as you can tell by the floor and everything. But yes, everybody, I decided to redo the entire garage. As you can see, it looks super, super, super cool. And you will also notice, too, that there's a few cars that are kind of out of place, but that's okay. We got a lot of things we're going to be doing in this new season. I mean, not only did we take care of Doc Hudson, but we're also going to be bringing back, many different cars onto the racetrack, like this Chevy Lumina. I have another Lumina over here, which is going to act as kind of our parts car in a way, because I think this one's got the better engine and everything for the other car, because this thing is pretty much used up. But we also still have this bad boy, which is a Cadillac hearse. This car is going to go through a major overhaul, despite the fact it looks so beautiful. But nah, today, everyone, for this episode, we're going to be going after this bad boy. Yep, this is a Chevrolet Camaro IROC Z. Now, this car is absolutely gorgeous. It was from 1989, and the IROC series, which was the International Race of Champions, was a series that brought many drivers from all over the globe for a total of 4 races around 4 different racetracks. And these cars were absolutely gorgeous. Like, you'll see a few of them still on the road in like various states of condition, but most of the time you'll see these and they still look absolutely gorgeous. As you can see, this one is kind of rusted out quite a bit. And if we take a look at the engine doesn't look very good either. And look at how much hood there is. Look at that. There's like 1.5 feet almost, or something, of power or of space for this. But really, what we're going to be doing is this. We're going to be focusing our attention on the engine itself, because you can see this has a V8 1-carb overhead, but we also have the ability to give it a 2-carb overhead valve. And I'm thinking we might go with that. I don't want to do supercharge right now. I don't want to get into the supercharging stuff, but as you can see, this thing is in not so good condition. So we'll figure out the engine in a little while. But first things first, we don't even have to bring this car to a lift, because look, we're already here at a lift. Now, before we get underneath this car, let's see, okay, that's not what I'm looking for. Interior detail, that's not what I'm looking for. Here we go, my TIG welder. So let's get my TIG welder over to the car, and let's see how many pieces we can salvage from this. Okay, so that side is salvageable, the trunk will have to go, the front left door will have to go, and the hood will have to go. Well, this is going to be an interesting thing, and it looks like the lights are going to be fine. Okay. Meanwhile, the interior is looking relatively good. You know what I think we might do? Is that, for this episode, I don't usually get to show these, but I think we're going to take a stroll to the junkyard, because sometimes you can actually find bits and pieces and bulbs and other sorts of things that we could actually take, fix up, and put it back here on the car. So before we touch this car, we're going to head over to the junkyard really quick and see if we can't find any pieces for this IROC Z. Because I think we can cut the cost down if we find a front right door, a hood, a left side door, and a trunk. And, if we can't find them, then we'll just have to buy them ourselves. So, give me a few seconds to head over to the junkyard, and I'll see you guys over there momentarily. So here we are inside the junkyard. This is a really bad place to be because this is where cars are basically broken up unceremoniously, and they're pretty much taken to their deaths. And usually what you do is that you just rummage around here and basically look around and see if there's anything cool. Sometimes you'll find something that you can get. Like, look at this, a Lamborghini Huracan rear clamshell. Haven't come across a Lambo yet, but I'll go ahead and grab it because it does have, it actually is pretty good. A Mustang headlight, I will grab that too. And then we can just search through the cars and see if there's anything that catches our attention. Like, here's a V8 Supercar front bumper B. We have yet to drive any of those, but I'll go ahead and get one. But let's see. We are looking for anything that would go on our IROC Z. Ooh, what do we got here? And who knows? Maybe we might actually find something like this that we could restore. Now, what kind of car are we looking at here? This is not that. A Dodge Monaco Taxi. Ooh. Ooh. This is looking really grimy. But it should still have some charm to it. You know what? I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it, and then it can be stored in the garage. I'll go ahead and take it to the garage, and it'll just go on that other rack that we have. So that'll be a future car coming up. Let's see if we can find something else for an IROC car. Nothing much here. Oh, we can even. Oh, look at this! We could even turn the Dodge Monaco into a police car. I'll grab that, and then we'll just have to see if it actually can be fixed. And that's the thing, is that you take a little risk on some of these parts, because some of these parts are fixable, some of them are not. Wait, hold on. Let's see. Mercedes, bolt fan, air filter, don't need that. Yeah, nothing like that's gonna be useful. Let's see what else we find here. Ooh, what do we got here? An F-150 2017 Raptor. Oh, dude. I'm not much of a Ford fan, but we could absolutely resurrect this car. So I'm gonna buy that. Future episode. So now it goes to the car park. There we go. Alright, let's continue searching a little bit here, see if there's any other place we can look for any junk here, because I highly doubt there's going to be anything more for us for the IROC car, which means I'm pretty much just going to have to rebuild the pieces or buy new ones. This thing's seen better days. What is this? Oh, we can't click on it. Okay, fine. Oh my goodness, look at this little guy. I know these little ones. That is a Peel P50. And if you guys have ever seen Top Gear, then you know exactly where these come from. I am buying it. No questions asked, nothing. So we'll take it to Car Park, and we'll have to work on that at some point. Now, speaking of Mustangs from earlier, look at this. What kind of thing is this? 2015 Ford Mustang EcoBoost. No. We're not gonna save that. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Look at this, everybody. Another Camaro IROC. Okay, so it does have that, but there's a good chance that we could salvage some pieces off of this. Look at that. The interior is fine. The outside's a little bit corroded, but maybe we can do it. Alright, I'm buying this IROC. Well, actually, it's not even an IROC car. It's actually a Chevy Camaro. So that might. Well, it does say IROC Z down there, so I'll go ahead and buy it. I'll have to put the cars side by side, I think. And then last but not least, what was next to this bus? Ooh. Ooh, El Camino. This is called a Bolt Atlanta Supercharged, but this is actually an El Camino. I'll buy it and take it to the garage. Or take it to the car park. Alright, so we now have another IROC Z, which could actually be the answer to our prayers. I don't think there's anything more here. Yeah, there's really nothing more. This Astro van, we already did something like this, so sadly this one does not need rescuing. So okay. So anyway, folks, let me go back to the garage. I'm gonna get the two Camaros together, and then we're gonna see on the other one, see if there's any parts or pieces that we could probably salvage off of that and put it on the better IROC car. Alright, so we now have the two IROC Z cars here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this down because, well, first let me show you. It's all rusted out underneath here. It's very much rusted out. So, yeah, it looks like there's a very good chance we're going to have to rebuild everything, including this front end. But I'm actually kind of curious to see if that front end is going to be a lot better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to this car, and I'm going to take my TIG welder. And let's just see if it can even, if we can even fix some of the pieces. Let's see. Well, the hood didn't get fixed. The trunk lid didn't get fixed, but what about the front end? Huh. Didn't get fixed. You know what? Alright, you know what may have to happen is this. Let me go ahead and put the hood back on here. Maybe what I'm going to have to do is that rather than take pieces off of this car and put it over here, I may have to take off some of the body panels and see if I can fix them myself. Because there might be a way to do that, but we'll see. If not, then I'll have to get a whole new everything. So off comes that front end, off comes this, off comes the trunk, everything else looks clean, and now we have this to go away. Alright, so now what I'm thinking is that we're going to need to get the engine out of here. And I don't think there's any more oil in it, but let's go ahead and eliminate a variable. Let's come over here and see if I can fix up the hood. Looks like we can. Let's see. Hey, that's good. Wait, wrong. Okay, yeah. There we go. Also fix the side mirrors too, so it looks like we can fix almost anything. Which is very good news. Okay. And then I suppose while we're here, there we go. Okay. Alright, so this means now we actually were able to fix the pieces. So now let me get my little oil thingy here. Let's get this over here and see if we can drain the oil. I don't know if there's still oil in here, but let's just see if there even is. But I don't think there is. Unless maybe, let's see. And nothing. Okay. Alright, so the good news here is that we're able to put things back, but what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to start dismantling this car. So what we're going to do is we're going to dismantle it all the way down to the shell. We're going to put the old pieces back on, and then I'm going to have to see if I can rebuild half of this, because what we're going to try and do is try and see if we can rebuild this car without having to get too many pieces. And if worst came to worst, I may end up buying or borrowing an engine off of one of our other cars that has a V8 2-carb overhead, and see if we can go from there. So that means it's time for a little speedy cam action. Okay, so, as you guys saw, we have stripped the car down of its suspension pieces and everything, and I gotta tell you, this is gonna be one of the more complex suspensions I've ever seen because, well, yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but there's a for lack of a better word, a shite load of rubber bushings that we gotta put with this car. I have not taken the engine out yet because I think I want to put the pieces of the I want to put back everything here that we have. Ooh, look at that! That actually is looking really good. But I feel like that we should go ahead and like put the pieces like this back in their spots, just so that we know that that's what we've done. So as you can see, we have that going on for us. The windshield glass, that's something I don't know if we still have. Yeah, no, we're gonna have to... Okay, that's the one thing I am gonna need to buy, is I'm gonna have to buy new windshields. Or windscreens, or whatever. And then the trunk back here gets put back in. And the trunk window is gonna have to be replaced as well. Okay, so it looks like we'll have to get some more windows at some point. But, as you can see, this is looking really sharp. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to pull out the engine. And this thing, you know, I've been thinking. So, this here is a one-carb overhead. Here's our Cadillac hearse. This is the wrong engine, isn't it? It's already looking like the wrong engine. Yeah, this is a V8 dual overhead cam supercharged. That's not what I was hoping for. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that maybe, rather than rebuild the engine from the ground up like you guys have been seeing, I think maybe it's time for us to do an engine swap. So, what I'm thinking is maybe if we do an engine swap, with this car, with one that's already got maybe a single overhead cam that's already set up to go, then maybe what we can do is we can just do it like that, and then we can get it back on the road pretty quickly. And I did say I was going to do a 2-carb overhead, but now I'm starting to think this is probably going to be better with the 1-carb. Alright, you know what? Alright, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go to the car parking lot, and I'm going to select a car that we can get a sacrificial motor from. And then, in a different episode of One Day Restorations, we're going to focus mostly our attention on the engines and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and have this guy go away. He's going to go to a parking structure. Alright, so now we got room in the shop for whatever car I decide to take a motor out from. And I'm going to take you guys to a spot that you guys have never seen. I don't think I ever showed it to you in Season 1. But we're going to go to my parking garage and choose a car that we can take its motor from to put into the IROC Z. So, here we are. This is one of the parking structures that I have. Now, these are reserved for cars that either I have purchased but have not gotten around to restoring yet, or cars that I bought that I could swap parts with and other sorts of things. And this is actually one of like 12 different levels that I actually have that are just chock-a-block full of cars. I mean, take a look at what we have here. We have this old Ford GT, which is also a Gran Turismo car. This might get restored at some point. You can see that the wheels are like really corroded out. This could become a car for a future episode. We have this Volkswagen tow truck, or is this a Volkswagen? No, it's just simply a generic tow truck. We also have this bad boy, which is a Bentley T-Series. This is coming very soon. You can see that it's actually going to be a really good challenge for us, especially with these types of conditions. Also have a little Messerschmitt, which this guy only needs a little bit of work, as well as this, a gold-plated DeLorean. And I also have a couple of NASCAR Cup Series cars from the past. So we have the 15 car here from Reed Sorensen, and we also have the 13 car here, that was once driven by Casey Mears. You can see it's the old style body. This is the old Gen 6 car, which is a car that I don't really like their colors. I mean, I don't like the way that they look. But at the same time, it's actually kind of cool. And we're going to need one of these. So, you know what? I think we're going to have to take one of these, because take a look at this. This guy here is really good, and it has a V8 2-carb overhead, which is exactly one of the engines that I was talking about for our Camaro. We could actually take the engine out of one of these cars, but which one do we take it out of? You know what? Let's go ahead and take it out of the Reed Sorensen car, because this thing is actually really good. I bought this at an auction, and it's not too terribly bad. Like, pretty much from the looks of it, everything looks like it's pretty good. Like, if we go back in here again, you can see that the suspension looks fine, and everything else looks fine. So, yeah, let's go ahead and move the Reed Sorensen car to my garage, and we're gonna take its motor. So now we have our Reed Sorensen car here. It's ready to get its engine taken out, and this is going to be a pretty interesting one. Now, what we're going to need to do is that I'm going to keep this car in the garage, because I think what we're going to do is that this will be our holder for the engine and all. So now let's go ahead and fish this engine out. Let's see, where is my... Here it is. I always keep forgetting about these things. Okay, second car lift. So now we're going to hoist this engine out. Remove engine. Forgot about the gearbox. Well, this one has a gearbox too, so let's go ahead and get this guy lifted up. We'll have to disconnect everything from all this. You can see how beautiful everything looks underneath this stock car, and quite frankly, I don't intend to race this anytime soon, if ever, but I kind of like to have it as a show car, just because, you know, it's cool. Alright, coming down underneath here, let's go ahead and get rid of the starter, and then we'll get rid of the gearbox. There we go. Okay, now we can go ahead and get the engine out, so let's bring the car down. Okay, now we can pull that engine out. Now we come over here, and we're going to have to disconnect the drive shaft. So, let's get the other drive shaft out. There we go. We get the starter out as well, and then we get the gearbox out. There we go. I also know, too, I'm pretty sure this engine's full of oil, so bring back our little oil pan, third lift, and now let's drain it. Really? There was nothing in there? Huh. Okay. I thought that I had done something with that, but alright, fine. Over here. Move the equipment over to the third lifter. And now we pulled out that engine, which is good. And now let's swap out the engines. Okay. Oh, that's right. We can't... Ha! I forgot. These cars don't take those engines. So this is gonna be... So it's just gonna be on our person. So let's put it over here, install the engine, which is this bad boy. There we go. Look at that. Actually, wait, hold on. Take that engine out. Because I need to get the cross member that's down there. Do you see that? I gotta get the rubber bushing and everything. Those little things are gonna be a pain in the butt. So back on the lifter we go. Okay, now let's get these stupid rubber bushings out. And now we can get the rest of the cross members out. There we go. Now we're good there. Okay, so that means this car right here is going to be left without an engine, but that's fine, because maybe we'll work on a few cars or something with this side. But who knows. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is now I got to go fix up all the parts and pieces that we had suspension-wise for this car, and then see which ones have survived and which ones are going to have to get again. But I'm not going to do any speedy cam here because, through the magic of editing, I have fixed half the parts. And also did a little bit more borrowing because one of the things that we couldn't fix were the wishbone shock absorbers. So I had to get them for my 15 car. So that means that 15 car will need some new shocks as well as a new engine at some point. So we might do something with it. But for right now, we have an IROC car to save. Alright, so usually we would start at the front, but this time we're going to start here at the very back. As you can see, there's quite a bit of stuff we need. And that also reminds me, too, that I need some mufflers. Thankfully, though, we can get those really fast. So let's go to the tuning shop, and I'm going to get us a couple of mufflers. Because we can actually get middle muffler and everything like that. So here we go, 2 middle mufflers right there. And we also need a rear muffler, which should be the V8 version. Not that. It's got to be the actual V8 version here. Okay, we don't need a rear muffler. But wait, let me see. Which ones do we need again? Because I know we got the middle muffler. We got the 2 middle mufflers, and then we got the rear muffler for the V8 overhead. Okay, got it. Okay, so we got the 2 middle mufflers, and then we need the V8 overhead. These guys. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to be good to go. Now let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, we're going to need a rear suspension cross member, because it's a rear-wheel drive car. Rear sway bar B. Did we fix that? No, we did not, so we're going to need that immediately. So go in here. Let's go back over to the main shop, and I'm going to put in sway. So we need a rear sway bar B, and I think we're also going to need a front sway bar. But I'm also going to get a front sway bar B just in case. Probably going to need a couple of these guys. Probably going to need at least 4, because why the hell not? And then these 2. Okay, now we're good. Alright, now we need the rear axle knuckle housing, which I was able to fix both. And now we need a rear shock absorber, which thankfully I have some. We can get everything put back in. This is probably one of the more complex rear ends that I've had to see. Because here we have a sway bar rear end link, which thankfully had some extras. Then we need the rear suspension upper arm, which is good. And I also made sure to get a bunch of these rubber bushings. Put them in there. And I probably should explain something about the bushings here. So let's put a rubber bushing in right here. So see that rubber bushing right there? So what it is that in the world of suspension, the bushing is basically what keeps all the screws and everything, you know, clamped in together. And when a bushing goes bad, it allows for play. So, like, imagine, if you will, this thing going up and down and up and down. But when a bushing goes bad, it'll actually start to rattle, and then you'll be in for a nightmare. In fact, I'll tell you one thing. In the old style games, or actually in the original Car Mechanic Sim 2015, the bushings were so hard to spot that they were very easy to leave off. And also, for some reason, when a car like this, you take it to the dyno or anywhere else, it won't roll unless it's got these little sons of bitches in there. So, anyway, let's go ahead and continue. Got the spring cap here. I think I have some rear springs. I do. Then we'll put the rear shock absorber cap on. Perfect. Back here, we're going to put the hub on now. Then we can get the rear wheel hub. This is what the... And for anybody new out there who doesn't know, excuse me, exactly what what the hub is for, The hub is basically for all 5 lug nuts to hold on to. So that way, you know, they stay perfectly sealed to your car's brake discs and everything. Brake pads, brand new. Brake calipers. I actually have a crap ton of these because I bought a bunch of brake calipers over the last, like, I don't know, couple of months before we started filming again. Because you never know. They always are the worst, and now I can see right there that I'm gonna have to get some more of those. What are these things? Hold on. I have to get more of the hubcaps, which should be fine. All right, now let's go over here to the other side, and we're gonna put the rest of it together. Ah! Okay, gonna need some wheel hubs. Wheel hubcap. That's what we're looking for right there. Okay, get the brake pads in place. Okay, please tell me that I got the bushings in place. Good. Alright. Get the fuel tank in there. Ugh. The fuel tank couldn't get fixed. Of course. Because why would you fix a fuel tank? Alright. Let's get here. I need a fuel tank. Just a regular old fuel tank. Nothing too bad. There we go. Get the fuel pump in there. Okay. Where are you? Where are you? Oh! Oh yeah, that's right. It's gonna have to be like that. Sometimes when you're building a car or when you're rebuilding a car, it always is important to see where everything goes. But oftentimes, once you get it right, everything just kind of fits together because almost every car that you'll find, whether it's, you know, newer or is older, it's like a little puzzle piece of stuff. So, like, as you can see over there, we have everything set up. And you're probably looking at this and you're going, well, why isn't the wheel popping up? Well, because you got to put this rubber bushing in there first. There we go. And then you got to go to the back here, and you can see that the sway bar link needs to be attached. There we go. Okay, now we can put the tire back on. However, I don't even have the tires, the new tires set on the wheels just yet, but we'll get to those in a bit. But as you can see now, we have a rear end section, which is great. Excuse me. So now we got the rear end in. Now it's time to put in the front end. And did I actually get to fix the cross member? Was I able to fix the cross member? Oh, no, no, no. I had some extras. Good, good, good. I do. So like I've shown you guys in the past, the cross member, the front suspension cross member, this is what the engine will sit on. There's like mounts that you can put it on and also mount the engine so that way it doesn't, you know, run all over the place. But it also needs 4 bushings. We also need the steering rack to put in, which thankfully I have an extra one. I always have an extra parts of something. That's why one of the things you'll see is that a mechanic always has spare parts, even, you know, when in doubt. There we go. Now, the inner tie rods... Yeah, the inner tie rods are screwed up. So let's go ahead and get the inner tie rods figured out. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to, more than likely, clear out my inventory here of all the older parts, just so that it doesn't clutter up everything. There we go. Okay, now we can go ahead and start working over here. You know, I had mentioned before about the fact that IROC featured many different drivers from back in the day. It's exactly what I say, because it had drivers like Mark Martin, Mark Donahue, Dale Earnhardt, Terry Labonte, Jeff Gordon raced in it, Jimmy Johnson, Elio Castroneves, Steve Kinzer. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And sadly, the IROC series folded in 2006 after a brilliant season, and has been dead ever since. But this year, 2024, at the time that we're recording, there's rumors that it's going to come back. So that'll be kind of fun. Can't wait to see if that becomes a reality. Of course, I don't think they'll be running Camaro IROC Zs, but still, it would be kind of fun to see those cars again. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Alright, that's one side done. Now to just breeze on through to the other side. There we go. So now we have the suspension all put back together. Now we just have to put the new motor in and put the wheels back on. Oh, and also, future me, if you can, make sure you can have Break On Through to the Other Side by the Rolling Stones playing through that little speedy cam. If not, then just maybe a breeze, because I did say we can breeze on to the other side, so whoops. Knocked the mic over almost. Alright, it's time for us to get the tires on, and I have some brand new wheels right here. Now, just like how I mentioned before in Car Mechanics Sim 2021, it's a mini game to put the balancers on. Over here, we can actually do two things at once. So, this here is the tire changer, and over there is the wheel balancer. So, when you put on new rubber to a rim, you know, it's all fun and good, but when you put it on the car, it's gonna basically juke all over the place. So they have to put wheel weights on to keep it nice and balanced. So that way, while you're on the road, the car is going straight and keeps on the straight and narrow. I'm gonna go ahead and install. So these are not what we want. Let's see, where are the avalanche rims? We could always take the retro ones, but those are a little too big. Here we go. So here we are. So this was the original. So these were the original rims that came off of the IROC car. They actually look good. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to search through here, and the vintage tires are right here. So I'm going to click on that, and watch this. Alright, so now it's on the rim, and now we take this off, and it's going to go onto here, where it's going to get balanced. Well, that does its thing. I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of the tires taken care of. Listen to those sounds. There we go. Let's get the rest of them taken care of. One more wheel. Alright, so now while this wheel balances, we're going to go ahead and come back over here and get the wheels put on our car. Guys put back on. Oh yeah, look at that. Cool. Okay, next one's gonna be over here. There we go. And then let's grab this guy. Actually, wait. Let's go ahead and grab this guy who has just got done balancing. Thank you. Over to here. Nice. All right. Now, before we get any further, let's go ahead and lower it down, and we can put the new engine in. And oh, I see the brake servo is completely dead as well. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. I think I have a new brake servo I can put in. No, I do not. Oh, that's right. That's the other game. God damn it. Okay, so let's get the brake servo in. That's right. It's the other game that I have the big stuff in. Alright, now this radiator can go here. Do I have another battery that can go there? Uh-oh. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to have to do a little recharge here. Should have put the battery on beforehand. I'm not going to grab anything more from this car, because this car has already donated enough stuff. So now let's go ahead and put this guy back in. Oh, that is so cool! Alright, now we can put the car back up on the rack here. And we're going to go ahead and get the rest of the pieces in. We're going to go ahead and get the gearbox in, which I have a bunch of these. I don't know why I bought a bunch of these gearboxes, but what the hell. Put the starter in there, got a bunch of them as well. Now we need the middle muffler. We need our performance muffler right there. And another performance one right here. And now we can go back this direction, go to the rear muffler. Yep, and then last but not least, the other rear muffler. Nice. And then the drive shaft. I got a bunch of these too. Perfect. Okay. So now let's move the engine hoist out of the way. And let's bring the car back down. God, this thing is already looking spotless. Look at this thing. It's so shiny. Oh, that's right. We need to get the windshield glass. Silly me. Okay. So we go to the community cars body store. And now we need a 1989. Gotta type in. Let's see. What happens if we just type in 19? No, not 1889. 1989. Okay. Let's see what we get from here. This is where the game kind of tends to freeze a little bit because there's so many big pieces and parts, but let's see what it'll do. Okay. So there's our Lumina pieces, which is not what we're looking for right now. But what I need is that I need the Camaro, if possible. Okay, so let's just switch out to Camaro. See if we can get the winch screens here. Okay, this is for the older Camaro, 79 version. We're not working on the 79, we're working on the other version, which is actually a 1990. Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Ooh, that's tempting. Okay, yeah, you know what? Go ahead and go with this. And then we need this guy, and we need this one. And I think we also... I think we're okay now. Left fender... left fender there, fender... don't really need to do anything more to this car, quite frankly, so... Alright, let's go ahead and come back here and start assembling. So the trunk window, there we go. I got a roll bar in there, which should be cool. Yes. And then over here. Yep. And then, let's see. Okay, so it already has that. That's cool. Alright. So now the next thing, or the last thing we gotta do, is we need to put some oil in the engine. So let's back here. I keep forgetting it's all the way back here. Okay, that's good. Alright, and then over here we don't have to worry about brake servos or anything. Now, is the battery already charged? That's what I'm kind of curious about. Because usually, for the whole episode, we basically put the car battery on. Alright, let's see. How much charge does this thing have? Oh, 100%. Awesome. Okay. So it looks like the car is ready to roll. So let's move it back here to the other part of the garage. And let's see if we can fire the thing up. Hopefully we can. Let's go inside here. Let's see, can we go inside? Come on. There we go. Alright, let's fire this car up for the first time. Nice, I can hear it. Oh, it's good. Okay, leave the car. Alright, so now we have a beautiful IROC Z absolutely ready to go. But you know what? To stay with tradition on this, let's go over to the dyno and just see how much power this thing really puts out. So let's go to the dyno. And let's see what we got. Okay. Close that door. There's a rear suspension arm missing. What? How the hell is there a rear suspension arm missing? Where the hell does that go? Oh, you little... Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, game? You said we were all set and ready to go. God damn it. Okay, back on the lift you go. Okay, now are you good? Alright, let's see if we're good. Oh my god. Why is this... Why? This is one of the reasons, too, why I don't like to work on cars like this, because there's a lot of missing parts. So, for the magic of editing, we can now do the stupid dyno. Alright, everyone, make sure you lower your volumes a little bit, or if you have a good sound system, turn it up, because here we go. Let's run this and see what we get. 307 horsepower is all this thing made? What a letdown, man. Now that's funny, because when it was in the 15 car, it was showing that we were making somewhere close to 700 to 700 horsepower. So this thing is going to need an engine rebuild as well. Well then, it looks like we're going to have to dedicate a whole episode to engines. Well, I guess that's fine, because then we can put our own engine underneath here. So that's going to do it for this episode of One Day Restorations, but don't worry, this car will be back, because in the near future, we'll do a whole episode on engines and maintaining them and everything like that. So if you guys like to see more of this, make sure you hit the like button, don't forget to comment, and also subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Until then, take care.